Like and subscribe might be a simple click for you, but it will lead to a transformational change of our channel. Support us to achieve 5 million subscribers by year 2028. In a future dominated by artificial intelligence, machines known as Terminators attempt to eradicate humanity. In the movie sequel, these lethal robots are controlled by Skynet, also referred to as the Legion. Despite Skynet's efforts, human resistance proves too strong in the future. To counter this, Skynet sends several Terminators back in time to eliminate resistance leaders during their childhood, before they can rise to power. John Connor, a prominent future resistance leader, becomes a primary target, and Skynet dispatches Terminators to kill him. The movie explores the fate of John Connor. Additionally, another resistance leader, Danielle Ramos, also becomes a target. Skynet sends a Terminator to eliminate Danielle Ramos, and the movie tells the story of her fight for survival as a future resistance leader. The movie begins with a recorded video showing Sarah Connor, who is convinced that the world will end in a few years. However, the scene quickly shifts to the future, revealing that Sarah has averted the apocalypse. She is now enjoying life on a beach in Livingston, Guatemala, with her son John. It's 1998, and they are living an idyllic life. This tranquil existence is shattered when AT-800 Terminator suddenly appears. The Terminator aims his gun at young John and shoots him. Sarah fires at the assassin, but her bullets are ineffective against his metallic body. Tragically, John dies, and the Terminator vanishes. The story then jumps 22 years forward to Mexico City. A young teenage couple witnesses a life-changing event. A woman suddenly appears out of a mysterious power surge, falling from beneath a bridge. The couple rescues her but is soon confronted by a group of police officers who suspect them of drugging the young woman. The woman, who is actually an advanced soldier named Grace sent from the future, overpowers the cops and takes the clothes of the young man. Grace has been sent from 2042 to 2020 on a mission to protect Danielle Ramos at all costs. Danielle, who appears to be the heart and soul of her family, leads a quiet life, unaware of the impending danger and the extraordinary lengths Grace will go to ensure her safety. She wakes her brother and urges her father to visit the doctor at noon. However, before they can proceed, a Rev. 9 Terminator suddenly appears in a flash of lightning, intense ice, and electrical surges. It seems like an ordinary day, so Danielle goes to work at an automobile assembly plant with her brother Diego, who dreams of becoming as popular as Bruno Mars someday. Unfortunately, Diego discovers he's been replaced by a machine. Danielle pleads with their supervisor, Craig, just as the dreaded Rev. 9, disguised as her father and armed with an automatic weapon, enters the assembly plant. Arrives just in time to stop the Rev. 9 from killing Danielle, allowing her to escape with both Danielle and Diego. However, the situation quickly becomes complicated as the Rev. 9 uses his shape-shifting ability to split into two entities. He relentlessly pursues the trio and soon catches up to them. Despite Grace's attempts to fend off the Terminator with iron bars, he tears off their tires. Tragically, Diego is killed along with his dreams of becoming the next Bruno Mars. In his final moments, Diego, a loving brother, begs Grace to take care of Danielle against all odds. With Danielle and Grace now at the mercy of the Rev. 9, it seems they are moments away from death. Suddenly, Sarah Connor reappears and temporarily disables the two divided entities with explosives, allowing Danielle and Grace to escape. Danielle wants to return home and resume her former life, but that's no longer possible. Grace explains that Danielle's father was killed when the Rev. 9 used his appearance to attack Danielle at the assembly plant. After that, Danielle and Grace escape using Sarah's truck. Grace, severely injured, manages to get to a pharmacy where she obtains anticonvulsants and other medications. Unfortunately, Grace passes out from her injuries, and Sarah catches up with them, regains her truck, and helps the unconscious Grace. Sarah joins the team, and they find a motel to hide in. Here, questions arise. Why did Sarah come back after all these years? How did she know when to appear? Does this involve her son? Indeed, it does. Sarah reveals that she is wanted in 50 states, giving Danielle time to mourn her brother. Danielle laments that no one will remember Diego or give him a proper burial. While unconscious, Grace dreams of a post-apocalyptic future where she and other soldiers battle fiery Rev. 7s. Grace suffers a deadly stab wound and is picked up by other soldiers just before she dies. When she wakes up, Sarah explains that years after John's death, She received information about new Terminators appearing at different points in time. Sarah has developed a method to find these Terminators as soon as they arrive, using encrypted messages that end with "for John." This has allowed her to eliminate the Terminators before they become threats, except for this instance with Danielle. Grace informs Danielle that Skynet and John Connor don't exist in her future, suggesting that Sarah successfully destroyed Skynet. This also brings to mind Cyberdyne, whose downfall contributed to Skynet's demise. There's more bad news. It's not just Danielle who's in danger, the entire world is at risk. The future of humanity is threatened by an AI known as Legion, a name cleverly alluding to the biblical legion of demons. Unfortunately, this means there will be countless Terminators. Legion was originally created for warfare, but due to the long-standing evil ways of humanity, it becomes a replacement for the destroyed Skynet. Legion eventually becomes a threat to all mankind, leading to an attempt to neutralize its growing influence. However, those in charge make a catastrophic decision. They try to eliminate this menace with nuclear weapons. This results in a nuclear holocaust that wipes out humanity, trees, animals, plants, and essentially all forms of life. If that sounds bad, it gets worse. Legion doesn't completely die. Instead, it creates a global network of deadly machines, or Terminators, which hunt down and kill any human survivors. Left with no other choice, the survivors form a coalition against Legion, creating a group known as the Human Resistance. Their mission is to combat the menace of Legion. Don't get confused, this is all set to happen in the future. Somehow, Danielle's destiny is tied to the Human Resistance, and she might be the key to Legion's defeat. Grace, however, refuses to reveal Danielle's role in all of this, although it won't be long before she does. Back in the present, Grace traces all of Sarah's messages to somewhere in Texas. While this could have been an all-girls trip, the arrival of the Rev. 9 Terminator changes everything. They barely escape its relentless pursuit. Upon reaching their destination, they receive shocking news. The T-800 that killed John at the start of the movie, the one with dark shades and an unrepentant heart, resurfaces. After Skynet was destroyed, you might wonder what happened to the T-800 soldiers sent to kill people. Well, one of them, the very one who killed John, transformed. This T-800, now going by the human name Carl, learned and eventually became self-aware. Over the years, he learned to behave like a human, picking up social cues, developing a conscience, and even adopting a family, a wife and a son. His wife offers sandwiches to the group, and it's touching to see the relationship he shares with his son, Mateo. However, this doesn't change the fact that he killed John Connor, who was about the same age as Mateo. Sarah explains that Carl's actions had a devastating impact on her. To redeem himself, Carl informs Sarah that there are still soldiers out there, and he offers to join their fight against the Rev. 9. Initially, Sarah refuses, unwilling to fight alongside the one who killed her son. But she knows this might be their only real chance to defeat the Rev. 9 and save Danielle. Carl admits that Sarah's destruction of Skynet allowed him to become free, and though he has the choice not to join them, he decides to help in their fight. Carl decides to join the team and vows to protect Danielle with his life. He gives them access to his room full of weapons and they teach Danielle how to shoot. Before leaving, Carl says an emotional goodbye to his family, urging them to escape. Eventually, the Rev. 9 finds Carl's house, but by the time it arrives, everyone is gone, including Carl's family. The group sets out to find an EMP, a military-grade electromagnetic pulse weapon strong enough to kill the Rev. 9. They obtain it from an old friend of Sarah's, a major in the military. However, the Rev. 9 is relentless and finds them even here. It appears in a stolen police chopper, leading to another intense battle. The major calls for backup from a nearby military base, but even this isn't enough to stop the Rev. 9. Eventually, the group escapes in a stolen plane, but they lose the precious EMPs they had worked so hard to get. During the flight, Grace finally reveals why Danielle is such a crucial target for the Rev. 9. Danielle is destined to become the founding commander of the Resistance, which will ultimately lead to the defeat of Legion. This is why Legion wants her dead at all costs. If Danielle doesn't survive, the Resistance likely won't form, allowing Legion to win the war against humanity. Grace also reveals that Danielle saves her life in the future, after Judgment Day, turning her into the soldier she is today. In a vision of the future, we see Danielle, now a street soldier, defeating 3 men and explaining that this is precisely what Legion wants: humans killing each other. Danielle raises Grace and trains her to become a formidable soldier. She turns scavengers into an army of hopeful soldiers, highlighting her crucial role in the resistance. The Rev 9 regains its energy and makes its way to the plane. In swift, calculated movements, the Rev 9 temporarily subdues Carl, giving Grace, Sarah, and Danielle a chance to escape. They jump with separate parachutes and land in a river near a hydroelectric plant. However, the relentless Rev 9 is still on their trail, with Carl following closely behind. Now badly beaten, they run inside the plant, where the battle continues. Carl and Grace realize that to kill the Rev 9, they need to cause a massive explosion. They manage to force the Rev 9 into a spinning turbine, resulting in a tremendous explosion that critically injures both the Rev 9 and Carl. Unfortunately, Grace is also severely wounded in the blast. Despite being almost destroyed, the Rev 9 still manages to mortally wound Sarah, leaving Danielle to face it alone. In a motivational moment, Grace urges Danielle to tap into her power source. However, Danielle is still too weak to fight the Rev 9. Just as the Rev 9 is about to kill her, Carl reactivates himself, having recovered from the explosion. Carl attacks the Rev 9, stopping it from killing Danielle and giving her the chance to grab Grace's power source. Using this power source, Danielle stabs the Rev 9, planting a bomb inside it. Before it explodes, Carl grabs the Rev 9 and jumps off a ledge, sacrificing himself to destroy the Rev 9. While the Rev 9 is finally defeated, the victory comes at a great cost. Grace, Danielle's brother, and her father are all lost. Several years later, Danielle and Sarah watch a younger Grace, now 10 years old, playing with her family at a playground. There is hope that they can prevent Grace's future death and the rise of Legion. However, this means they will have to face more, and likely angrier, Rev 9s. As they prepare to drive off, Sarah tells Danielle that it's time for her to get ready, suggesting that a new war is about to begin. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification button so that you will not miss any of our video updates.